like we've been reporting. Let me now actually toss it across to my colleague Shireen, who's with a special guest. Shireen, over to you.
Well, thanks very much, guys. As we continue our conversations on the new GST regime, joining us now is Rajiv Memani, the president of the CII, also the chairman of EY India. Mr. Memani, always a pleasure. Many, many thanks for joining us here on CNBC TV 18. I know you're traveling, so appreciate you taking time out to be with us. You know, the day that you took over, this is the conversation that you and I had. Are we ready to usher in a new GST? And it certainly seems to be now a reality. Your first reactions on what the implications and the impact will be for the economy in the near term, but more so in the medium to long term?
Yeah, I think, Shireen, thank you for inviting. Always a pleasure talking. No, I think, listen, this is probably something the industry has been talking about for a long time. We had the corporate tax reduction, which was quite significant. Then we had some personal tax relief in the recent budget. And, the industry felt that the full consumer uplift is not coming, especially in sectors relating to FMCG, food, and urban demand in particular was slowing down. So there was a lot of requests to see if there could be GST rationalization that happens and some GST rates are reduced. The second was obviously because of the four-rate structure, there were always classification issues and things like that. So that was also creating confusion. Then we had lots of inverted duty structures. So GST has been one of the best reforms that India has done, but it needed another refresh. And honestly, the speed at which the government has done it and the intensity with which they have done it, and even the rate structures that they have devised, not only just reducing rates for a lot of these items, but also corrected inverted duty structures, also ensured registration had become easier, also ensuring that provisional credit for inverted duty structures was available. So at least refund process can be speeded up to a large extent. For e-commerce companies in particular, registrations for the sellers, resellers, registrations, just at one place and not multiple registrations. So I think this is not only from a rate standpoint, does it give great impetus to the economy, but also structurally, I think it's something that they've tried to address quite a few things challenges that people have been experiencing. I think this will have a very positive impact on the economy for two reasons. One, I think the Prime Minister on 15th August, when he announced this and he also talked about this is the time for India to reform and all kinds of reforms. So I think hopefully this is the first one in a sequence of reforms that one sees, which definitely augurs very well for economy, for GDP growth, and for the overall strength and resilience of India. So I think in that way, it's very positive. And secondly, obviously, the economic impact. I don't know, we've not done the exact number, but my guess is roughly 1 lakh crore odd would come in the hands of consumers to spend incremental amount of money. And that's a big relief that the government has given. And, this is a virtuous cycle. You have greater sales, you have better capacity utilization, you have got greater capex spend. So the multiplier impact of this will be quite significant. So I'm very positive that the changes will come through. By when will it come through, Shireen? I think it will obviously 22nd September is when they're saying by the time things actually start. And this is at the perfect time because this is the prime time as far as consumer buying is concerned. And as things progress and there are some issues as the inventory clean out happens, inverted credit gets clearer. The pricing, it's very important for industry to ensure that the pricing advantage passes to the consumer. And as soon as that happens, the benefits should start trickling in. So I think any time in the last quarter of this calendar year to early next year, we should see benefit coming through.
Yes, several points that you mentioned there. But, Rajiv, if I were to pick up on what you mentioned, and we've sort of started to see this theme play itself out, starting the budget with the income tax cuts coming in, now with the GST cuts announced by the GST Council. Consumption seems to be something that the government is focused on. To take forward that sequence of reforms theory that you were building on, if consumption is in fact now being prioritized, what could then be the next set of reforms. What has been the discussion and the dialogue between industry and government on what could perhaps spur consumption further?
Yeah, I would say the government has definitely, obviously, it also addresses a large part of India, which feels that they are not, they don't have enough money in their hands to spend. And as you have seen, Shireen, the revenue neutral rate that has come will be below 10%. So you have low corporate tax rate, you have low revenue neutral rate, you have some relief on the personal tax side. So I think that piece of the equation is honestly, yes, you can continue to ask for some procedural ease and some other things here or there. But I would say that part of the equation has been very well taken care of. In terms of next set of reforms, which will create, if you look at government's agenda is to create greater economic activity in India, ensure that India is more self-reliant than it ever was before. That if you look at those two themes, which means to encourage greater business activity in India, on doing business, I'll break this into three parts. On ease of doing business, as you know, Shireen, there has been a lot of work that is happening. It is being led by the highest levels in the government. They're engaging both with the central governments and with the state governments. They're seeking active feedback from the industry. They have also got a team of people who are benchmarking each states on various approvals, consents that are required, whether it's for land, for labor, for environment, for NOCs and others. And hopefully we see, and we are seeing some early signs, and hopefully we see signs of implementation of that. Some of them have to happen at a central level, and a lot of them have to happen at the state level. So hopefully the willing states and who really care for greater economic activity in their state should be the first ones to adopt some of these changes, because it will make them significantly more attractive and competitive. The second, after ease of doing business, is factor reforms, which will really lead to reducing the cost of doing business. And there I would say land, labor, power, logistics, these are some of the important ones which the government is focused on. If I have to pick up one or two, I would say power is one area where there is a lot that can be done. And especially if we are looking at bold reforms, then the industry has definitely made the point of, we have to reduce the power cost for industry. You cannot have a 50-60% cross-subsidization load as it is in some very progressive states. And the only way out of this is either to encourage privatization in states, or to look at issuing second licenses. And over a period of time, reducing the cross-subsidization, at least for manufacturing. And I think that will have a big impact on the power competitiveness. Also, how we facilitate captives and ensuring that captives also don't have to incur that load, because once the tariff barriers come down, as they will come down.
Okay, that's a view from EY. We also spoke with Shailesh Chandra, President